If you or someone you love is fighting high blood sugar and you're wondering if there's hope beyond medication, listen closely. I'm Barbara O'Neill, and after decades in natural health, I've watched thousands lower their HbA1c naturally, using what I call God's pharmacy, real whole foods. Today I'll reveal 7 specific foods that help stabilize insulin, calm inflammation, and bring your numbers down safely. And the first one is so powerful they nicknamed it vegetable insulin. This isn't a quick fix, it's your body healing the way it was designed to. Stay with me because your next meal could be the turning point. Before we dive in, what's one food you make sure to eat every day for your health? Share it in the comments. Seniors, if you want simple, natural ways to stay strong and healthy, hit subscribe. We share natural health solutions every day. Food number 1, bitter melon. Let me tell you about bitter melon, a vegetable so powerful that in many countries they call it vegetable insulin. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bitter doesn't sound appealing, but listen to this. This humble green vegetable contains compounds that literally mimic insulin in your body. When I first discovered bitter melon's properties, I was amazed. This vegetable contains charantin, polypeptide P, and vicine, 3 compounds that work together like a symphony in your body. Charantin has been shown to have significant blood glucose lowering effects, while polypeptide P acts like plant-based insulin. But here's what makes me passionate about sharing this. I've watched patients who were told they'd be on diabetes medication for life, reduce their HbA1c levels by 1 to 2 points within just 3 months of incorporating bitter melon into their daily routine. One gentleman, Robert, came to me with an HbA1c of 9.8. His doctor wanted to increase his medication again. 6 months later, after following my protocol, including bitter melon, his HbA1c dropped to 6.4, completely naturally. Here's the beautiful thing about how God designed our bodies. When you consume bitter melon, it doesn't just lower your blood sugar temporarily, it actually helps your pancreas function better. The compounds in bitter melon stimulate your beta cells, the cells that produce insulin, to work more efficiently. Think of your pancreas like a tired worker who's been overworked for years. Bitter melon is like giving that worker the right tools and rest to do their job properly again. It's not forcing your body to do something unnatural. It's supporting your body's natural processes. Now, I must tell you the truth. Bitter melon is bitter. But don't let that discourage you. I've found the most effective ways to make it palatable while preserving its healing properties. You can juice it with apple and cucumber to mask the bitterness, or you can find it in supplement form if the taste is too challenging. The key is consistency. I recommend starting with small amounts, perhaps half a cup of juice or 1 capsule daily, and gradually increasing. Your body needs time to adjust, and patience is crucial in natural healing. And I remember Sarah, a 54-year-old mother who came to me desperate. Her fasting glucose was consistently over 180, and she was terrified of the complications she'd heard about: blindness, amputations, kidney failure. The fear in her eyes broke my heart. Within 2 weeks of starting bitter melon juice every morning, her fasting glucose dropped to 145. Within 2 months, it was consistently under 120. But more importantly, the fear left her eyes. She felt empowered again, knowing she had control over her health. This is what natural healing can do. It doesn't just treat numbers on a lab report. It restores hope. Food number 2, cinnamon. Now that you understand the power of bitter melon, let me share the second food that has absolutely revolutionized how I help my patients control their blood sugar. And this one might surprise you. It's cinnamon, but not just any cinnamon. I'm talking about Ceylon cinnamon, the true cinnamon that holds incredible healing properties. Here's something most people don't know. The cinnamon you buy at your local grocery store is probably cassia cinnamon, which contains high levels of coumarin that can actually harm your liver if used long term. But Ceylon cinnamon, that's the golden treasure we want. I've seen patients lower their fasting blood glucose by 20 to 30 points just by adding 1 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon to their daily routine. The magic lies in a compound called methyl hydroxychalcone polymer. I know it's a mouthful, but this compound literally helps your muscle cells absorb glucose more efficiently. Let me paint you a picture of what happens in your body. Imagine your cells have doors, and insulin is the key that opens these doors to let glucose in. In diabetes, these doors become rusty and hard to open. That's insulin resistance. Ceylon cinnamon acts like oil on those rusty hinges. It makes your cells 20 times more sensitive to insulin. I've watched this transformation happen hundreds of times. Martha, one of my dear patients, had an HbA1c of 8.9. She was 67 and felt defeated. After 3 months of taking Ceylon cinnamon with her morning tea, her HbA1c dropped to 7.1, and for the first time in years, she had energy to play with her grandchildren. Here's my protocol that has worked for countless patients. Half a teaspoon twice daily. You can add it to your morning tea, sprinkle it on your food, or even take it in capsule form. But timing matters. I always tell my patients to take it 20 minutes before meals. This primes your body to handle the incoming glucose more effectively. The beauty of cinnamon is that it doesn't just lower blood sugar, it helps stabilize it. No more of those terrifying spikes and crashes that leave you feeling exhausted and craving more sugar. Food number 3, okra. The third food I want to share might make you smile. It's okra, that humble vegetable many people turn their nose up at because of its slimy texture. But that slime, that's pure healing medicine for diabetics. Inside okra, there's a special type of soluble fiber called mucilage. That's what creates the slippery texture. This fiber is absolutely miraculous for blood sugar control. When you eat okra, this fiber slows down sugar absorption in your intestines, preventing those dangerous blood sugar spikes after meals. But here's what excites me most about okra. It contains quercetin, a powerful antioxidant that actually helps repair damaged pancreatic cells. Think about this. Instead of just managing your diabetes, okra is helping your body heal itself at the cellular level. Let me share my favorite okra preparation that has given remarkable results. It's called okra water, and it's simple to make. Take 4 to 5 okra pods, slice them lengthwise, and soak them in a glass of water overnight. In the morning, squeeze the okra to release the gel, strain the water, and drink it on an empty stomach. I had a patient, James, a 45-year-old truck driver whose HbA1c was 10.2. His doctor was talking about insulin injections. James was terrified. He'd seen what happened to his father with diabetes complications. After just 6 weeks of drinking okra water every morning, his HbA1c dropped to 8.4. 3 months later, it was 6.9. His doctor couldn't believe it. Research has shown that okra can reduce blood glucose levels by up to 25% when consumed regularly. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about quality of life. The fiber in okra doesn't just control blood sugar, it helps you feel satisfied and full, reducing those constant food cravings that plague diabetics. One study found that people who consumed okra extract showed significant improvement in their glucose tolerance test results. But I don't need studies to convince me. I've seen it work in real people, real lives, real families. Now I know what you're thinking. Barbara, okra is slimy and I can't stand it. I hear this all the time. Here's the secret. Roast it. When you roast okra in the oven with a little olive oil and sea salt, it becomes crispy and delicious. You can also add it to soups and stews where the mucilage actually improves the texture. The key is consistency. These foods aren't magic bullets. They're tools for healing that require commitment and faith in your body's ability to restore itself. Food number 4, apple cider vinegar. The fourth food I'm about to share has been used for healing for over 5,000 years, yet modern medicine has largely ignored its incredible power. I'm talking about raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. And when you understand what this simple liquid can do for your blood sugar, you'll never look at it the same way again. When I say with the mother, I'm referring to those cloudy strands you see floating in quality apple cider vinegar. That's not contamination, that's pure healing power. The mother contains beneficial bacteria and enzymes that work like tiny soldiers in your body, fighting inflammation and regulating blood sugar. Here's what happens when you take apple cider vinegar before meals. It blocks up to 34% of starch digestion. Think about that. Over 1/3 of the carbohydrates you eat simply pass through your body without raising your blood sugar. It's like having a natural glucose blocker right in your kitchen cupboard. I've watched this transformation countless times. Linda, a 52-year-old teacher, came to me with an HbA1c of 9.1. She was exhausted, constantly thirsty, and her vision was starting to blur, all classic signs of uncontrolled diabetes. Her doctor wanted to start her on 3 different medications. Instead, I started her on my apple cider vinegar protocol. 2 tablespoons in a glass of water, taken 15 minutes before each meal. Within just 2 weeks, her morning blood sugar dropped from 220 to 165. After 3 months, her HbA1c was 6.8, completely within normal range. But here's the beautiful part. Linda didn't just see better numbers. She got her energy back. She could think clearly again. The constant hunger that had plagued her for years simply disappeared. Apple cider vinegar works through multiple pathways in your body. First, it improves insulin sensitivity by up to 25%. Second, it slows gastric emptying. That means food moves more slowly from your stomach to your intestines, preventing those dangerous blood sugar spikes. But perhaps most importantly, apple cider vinegar helps your liver produce less glucose during the night. This is why I always recommend my patients take it before dinner. It helps prevent those high morning blood sugar readings that frustrate so many diabetics. Here's my exact protocol that has helped thousands of patients. 2 tablespoons of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar in 8 ounces of water, taken 15 minutes before your largest meals. Start with 1 tablespoon if you're sensitive, but work up to 2 as quickly as you can tolerate. Some patients ask me about the taste. Yes, it's strong and acidic. But I tell them, would you rather taste something unpleasant for 30 seconds or taste the bitterness of diabetes complications for the rest of your life? When you put it in perspective like that, the choice becomes clear. Food number 5, fenugreek seeds. Now let me share the 5th powerful food, one that was so valued by ancient civilizations that it was found in King Tutankhamun's tomb. Fenugreek seeds contain compounds that are absolutely remarkable for blood sugar control, yet most people have never even heard of them. Inside these tiny golden seeds lies a water-soluble fiber called galactomannan. When this fiber reaches your digestive system, it forms a gel-like substance that dramatically slows sugar absorption. But that's just the beginning of fenugreek's healing power. Fenugreek seeds also contain an amino acid called 4-hydroxyisoleucine, and this is where the magic happens. This compound actually stimulates insulin production from your pancreatic beta cells, but only when your blood sugar is elevated. It's like having an intelligent natural insulin regulator. I remember David, a 58-year-old construction worker who came to me after his doctor told him his pancreas was failing. His HbA1c was 11.2, and he was facing insulin injections within months. David was a proud man who had worked with his hands his whole life, and the thought of being dependent on daily injections devastated him. I started him on soaked fenugreek seeds, 1 tablespoon soaked overnight in water, consumed first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Within 6 weeks, his fasting blood sugar dropped from 280 to 180. After 4 months, his HbA1c was 7.9, still elevated, but no longer in the dangerous zone. But the real victory came 8 months later when David's HbA1c hit 6.4. His doctor was speechless. David looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "Barbara, you gave me my life back." Here's the most effective way I've found to use fenugreek seeds. Take 1 tablespoon of organic fenugreek seeds and soak them in a glass of water overnight. In the morning, strain the seeds and drink the water on an empty stomach. You can also chew and swallow the softened seeds if you don't mind the slightly bitter taste. The soaking process activates the healing compounds and makes them more bioavailable to your body. Some of my patients prepare a week's worth at a time, storing the soaked seeds in the refrigerator. What I love about Fenugreek is that it works through 4 different mechanisms. It slows carbohydrate absorption, stimulates insulin production, improves insulin sensitivity, and helps regenerate pancreatic beta cells. It's like having 4 different diabetes medications working together, but completely natural and without side effects. Studies have shown that Fenugreek can reduce fasting blood glucose by 25 to 30% and significantly lower HbA1c levels. But beyond the numbers, I see the transformation in my patients' faces, the return of hope, energy, and joy in living. Food number 6, turmeric. We're now at the 6th powerful food that completes this incredible healing protocol, and this one is truly special. Turmeric, that brilliant golden spice, contains a compound called curcumin that doesn't just lower blood sugar, it actually helps repair the damage diabetes has done to your body. Here's something most people don't understand about diabetes. It's not just about blood sugar. Diabetes creates chronic inflammation throughout your body, damaging your blood vessels, nerves, kidneys, and eyes. That's why diabetics face so many complications. But turmeric's curcumin is one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory compounds. When I explain this to patients, I use this analogy. Imagine diabetes as a fire burning in your body, and most treatments just try to control the flames. But turmeric actually puts out the fire. It addresses the root cause of diabetic complications, inflammation. I had a patient, Margaret, who came to me with diabetic neuropathy. The burning pain in her feet was so severe she couldn't sleep. Her blood sugar was reasonably controlled with medication, but the nerve damage was getting worse. After 3 months of taking turmeric with black pepper daily, not only did her HbA1c drop from 7.8 to 6.2, but the burning in her feet reduced by 80%. She could finally sleep through the night again. Here's the crucial detail most people miss. Curcumin is poorly absorbed by your body unless you take it with black pepper. The piperine in black pepper increases curcumin absorption by 2,000%. That's not a typo, 2,000% better absorption. My protocol is simple. 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder with a pinch of black pepper, mixed in warm water or milk, taken twice daily. You can also find quality supplements that already combine turmeric with piperine, but turmeric does something remarkable that goes beyond blood sugar control. It helps protect and repair your pancreatic beta cells. These are the cells that produce insulin, and in diabetes, they're under constant attack from oxidative stress and inflammation. Studies have shown that curcumin can increase insulin production by up to 40% by protecting these precious beta cells. This means turmeric isn't just managing your diabetes, it's helping your body restore its natural insulin-producing capacity. Food number 7, chromium-rich foods. The 7th and final food in our protocol isn't actually one specific food. It's a category of foods rich in chromium, a trace mineral that most diabetics are deficient in, and this deficiency is sabotaging their blood sugar control. Chromium is essential for proper insulin function. It helps insulin work more effectively at the cellular level. When you're deficient in chromium, which over 90% of diabetics are, it's like trying to unlock a door with a bent key. The insulin is there, but it can't do its job properly. The best sources of chromium are broccoli, grape juice, unsweetened whole grains, and Brazil nuts. But here's what I find remarkable. Just 200 micrograms of chromium daily can improve glucose tolerance by 25% in diabetics. My favorite chromium-rich food is Brazil nuts. Just 2 Brazil nuts daily provide all the chromium your body needs, plus selenium, which works synergistically with chromium for blood sugar control. I remember Carlos, a 49-year-old diabetic who was struggling with afternoon blood sugar crashes. His morning numbers were good, but by 3 p.m., he'd hit a wall of fatigue and sugar cravings. I started him on 2 Brazil nuts every morning with his breakfast. Within 2 weeks, those afternoon crashes disappeared. His energy remained stable all day, and his overall HbA1c dropped from 7.4 to 6.1 over 4 months. I want you to understand something profound. Diabetes is not a life sentence. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal when you give it the right tools. These 7 foods aren't just managing your symptoms. They're addressing the root causes of diabetes and giving your body what it needs to restore normal function. I've dedicated my life to natural healing because I've seen miracles happen. I've watched people who were told they'd be diabetic forever walk into my office months later with normal HbA1c levels and renewed vitality. Your body wants to be healthy. It's designed to be healthy. Sometimes it just needs the right natural medicines, which God has provided abundantly in nature, to remember how to heal itself. Remember, healing is not just about the physical body. It's about hope, faith, and taking action. Every time you choose one of these healing foods over processed food, every time you prepare your Fenugreek water or add cinnamon to your tea, you're making a statement of faith in your body's ability to heal. These 7 foods, bitter melon, Ceylon cinnamon, okra, apple cider vinegar, fenugreek, turmeric, and chromium-rich foods are your allies in healing. They've been used for thousands of years to restore health and vitality. The question isn't whether these foods can help you. The question is, are you ready to help yourself? Your transformation begins with your very next meal. Choose healing. Choose hope. Choose these 7 powerful foods and watch as your body responds with the miracle of restored health. Remember, I'm not just sharing information, I'm sharing hope. Hope that diabetes doesn't have to control your life. Hope that your best days can still be ahead of you. Hope that with God's natural pharmacy, true healing is possible.